are a peaceful people, struggling we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, and we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not the one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one for us, not a blade of grass. This land is our land now, we're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we are moving from here, make no mistake. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, no, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one for us, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of the Rupanuni and the Essex Cribbo, daytime or night. Though we criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we mean to keep it. We have that right. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, no, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one for us, not a blade of grass, not one golden apple, not one jamon, not a drop of water. We are a peaceful people, struggling we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, and we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one for us, not a blade of grass. This land is our land now, we're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we are moving from here, make no mistake. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, no, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one for us, not a blade of grass.
All right, hey, guess what? Good morning. It's 6 minutes after 10 o'clock. We'll just spend probably about an hour with you guys, just to keep you in the loop of what's happening. Nothing has really changed. So I'm still really trying to keep you guys in the loop since nothing has really changed about information coming in that the PPP has rigged in certain areas. They have rigged the outcome of the well, we are still waiting for GCOM to say something, but we haven't been hearing anything about GCOM as it pertains to the actual numbers. Instead, what we've been hearing is from Jack Dew, and Jack Dew is not a reliable source. He's not a trustworthy source. And when you look at the figures, something isn't adding up. In New Amsterdam, something isn't adding up. In Bartica, there's a tie. Something isn't adding up. You look across the regions where they claim that they have won and there's a tie. Something isn't adding up. Even their own friend, um, what is it? A Guardian of Democracy member. God in heaven knows what that was about, whether it still exists or not. Brian McIntosh is saying that something isn't adding up in a particular area. Something isn't adding up because when, according to Brian McIntosh, when he did the calculation, the math is wrong. The PPP claimed that they won in that particular area, but when I believe it's Plaisance, but when he did the math, it is showing the coalition winning. And according to GCOM's number, it shows that the coalition has won. But something isn't adding up, guys. I don't know what the PNC is doing. Some of them are in their chit chat groups. They're so-called, they're so-called think tank. Because these people, they love to sit and chat. A lot of them, instead of going out in the fields and doing their work, and they just love to sit and chat and to sound educated. Sound educated. They love to do that. I'm not saying that there are not times when they should be chitting and chatting. But now is the time. Now is the time, Roxanne. I don't know. I just don't know what's happening in the leadership of the PNC. And I don't want to waste my breath and my energy and all. And, I don't want to. Good morning to you, Roxanne. I just don't want to at all. And let me say to you guys that all of you who are on this show, every single one of you who have been watching this show for a while, we have mutual respect. I know you guys come on the show. You guys come on the show, and it is like we have been a family, and we will continue to be that respectful family towards each other. Good. Having said that, let me take you guys to Nurun. Nurun. We got to find out who Nurun is. You see the level, and he's supposed to be, if you guys could put up a photograph at Nurun, they're always with the B word. Who could do that more than Jack Deere, more than Anil, probably more than Irfan, more than Kwame, and all these guys? And that is their level. Look at this one. This early morning, bright and early, trench crop in retail. Bright and early. And look what he's talking. The B word. Bright and early. Well, I tell you what, we've got to find out who he is, right? Because these guys that they got to learn, we got to teach them a lesson. Seriously, we got to teach them a lesson that when they come with these form of things, they should know that it is considered harassment. And he is standing next to his vehicle with his number plate and everything, and knowing that it could be traced. And these guys are not too bright at all. And these are the folks that we have to when we pronounce them, we got to throw insults at them. We cannot do that to people who are a family. And you guys are a family, right? A straight up family. That's what we are here. So bright and early, Nuran. He probably should be named Moran, not Nuran, Moran. So this Moran, bright and early, and I'm just using him for little humor early in the morning because he's not making any sense. The usual trench crappos, they don't make sense. But we'll find out who Nuran is. Um, just a quick minute. We got to find out who he is, and if he feels that he could just come, and it is what is called harassment, right? Good. They got to learn the hard way. And even if he's in a basement somewhere locked away in Queens, they got to learn the hard way. See, there we go. He says he lives in Queens. He's standing up next to his vehicle, the plate number, and everything. And he looks like a moron. He can't dress. He looks like, we gotta probably have Otisha probably take a look at him. Uh, Otisha probably should take a look at him, right? Anyways, good morning. Good morning to you guys. good morning to you guys. You know, these individuals, these PPP guys, you know, they have a one track mentality. And if you take a look as to what they're usually focusing on, they usually focus on the B word. They love that sort of thing, you know, the B word. These men, these so called PPP men, that's all they do. That is all they focus on. That is all they think about. And God in heaven knows what more, right? So that's all they think about, right, Dexter Haley? Good morning to you guys. A little bit of joke early morning with these guys. You know, early morning. So we give him what is it? He deserves this. We got to give him moron, Nuran, moron. All right, Matthew Dennison is asking here, where is Upnoon Lady? How am I don't know where Upnoon Lady is. Many of you remember Upnoon, right? I don't know where Upnoon Lady is. And wherever Upnoon Lady is, Upnoon Lady needs to stay right there because it's Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up on Sunday, right? And you see, a lot of you guys didn't even remember that Sunday is Father's Day. I got to remind you guys of that. The afternoon lady stay there. I want to have a nice Father's Day, man. I don't want anything to scare me. I need to have a lovely, a nice day, Father's Day. Baby Can, good morning. I don't know when was the last time I've seen you, baby. It's been many, many years, but good to see you. You're always here. Baby Khan says you can take them out of the gutter, but their minds always in the gutter. Not just their minds; it's a way of life for a lot of these guys, these trench crappos, right, baby? A lot of things. Joe King, good morning. I always kind of smile when I see that name. Not in that sense, mind you, right? Not in that sense, right? Joking. Imagine a man named Joking. His parents must have been joking, right? Joking. Hey, joking. I'm just joking, right? What a name. Joe King. Good morning to you guys. Janice Booker. These Bookers, you don't mess with them, man. If you mess with one, about 151 of them come after you. 151 of them come after you. Devo, another one of them trench crappos, probably bumps raised early morning. He said, no, Jumbi, your man-in-law. You know, and that is what they, Jumbi, your man-in-law. Jumbi, your man-in-law. But they're not gonna, Devo doesn't know who is his man-in-law. Jack there got man-in-law. All of them ministers get a man-in-law because that's how they operate. You know, that's the level of thinking. You know, Jumbi, your man-in-law. I mean, that's the level of thinking. No wonder why the PPP, like Devo, can't function in terms of governance. The level, I'm showing you guys this here to show you guys the level of the support base of some of these people. I'm not going to paint all of their support base with the same brush, but you see the lunatics. You see them. So I like to expose them. Let you guys see what they're about. Uh, there's something else. There's something else. Eon Bino. I always wanted to ask Bino if he's related to Philip Bino, the guy who ran away and left me in a bunch of mess. Something poor me and even know nothing about. And every time I see Eon Bino, Philip Bino comes to mind. Good morning to you, Eon. Still put up a picture. We want to see what you look like. Brenda Casey is saying Bibi is our sister. Of course, Bibi is my friend for donkey years now. Good morning again, Bibi. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Roshana. I'm just taking this time out before let us warm up and let us get back on track, right? because we have a big enemy, and that big enemy is the PPP. The enemy is not us cussing each other out and getting vexed with each other. That's not it. We get vexed with the trench crappos. And I have absolutely no apologies for that. But we got to get back on track as a family on this show. We really got to get back. We don't want to lose our focus. And I don't want us to lose our focus at all. Claudette Harry, good morning to you. Um, you guys are choosing who's a better candidate and stuff now. Look, we want strong leadership. Yes, we want strong leadership. And the next time we are going to be, well, I am not a member of any political party, but I can choose leaders, but maybe we can direct. Um, we got to stop choosing out of emotions, and because sometimes we make the wrong choice or choices. There are times we do that, and we suffer the consequences for that. Lack of leadership, lack of strong leadership, lack of good leadership. And then as a whole, we suffer. As a people, we suffer. Um, all because we allow emotions to get in our way. We don't like when others constructively make criticisms. We tend to like with this worship kind of thing. And then in the process of being so emotional in electing a leader, you are not you cut yourself out from being objective or listen to any sort of objective views. And then because of your choice of candidate, which is your entitlement, don't get me wrong, you want to kill the other person, and you want all manner of things. And I remember I'm reading some of your comments. Um, some of you guys wanted to kill for Aubrey, and it's okay to like your candidate and all manner of things. And I have seen some of you guys who were basically out there wanting to kill for Aubrey didn't take a moment to stop and say, let us make a good choice, a proper choice. And so it's not as though the options were any better, mind you. But at least we got to stop for a moment and ask ourselves, is this person the right person to take us where we need to go as a people? Um, and for those who are members of the party, whether PNC or coalition, or supporters, as in my case, I'm a supporter of the opposition, and I don't have to hide around or beat around the bush in that, or frightened to say it publicly. I'm a supporter of the coalition. And there are times when I would criticize the coalition. I'm not like those members who just don't criticize and get vexed when others, PNC members. I remind them that I'm not a card bearing PNC member. I'm a supporter of the opposition. And so we got to, the next time around, got to be able to think wisely in putting a leader there. Because oftentimes when we do these things out of emotions, we sometimes run into serious problems. And I do believe that we have some serious problems right now. Serious problems in the sense of not having the kind of representation that you guys were promised. Uh, and it is a fact. Things have calmed down tremendously. And for me, I think that when people are out of office, they're not in any position, they will do and say anything. Anything. And when they do and say anything, oh, yes, this is the man or this is the woman for the job. Oh, yes, I will do this, I will do that. And this is how I'm going to approach it. Claudette Singh got to go. This body got to go. I don't know. I just don't know. We've got to be very, very careful. And this is not like out of any hatred towards anybody or an attack on anybody per se. People, I just got a text, one of our listeners saying that they're hearing me in and out. It's cutting, let me know whether that's the case with you. Are you guys hearing me clearly? Is it in and out? Is it at our end? Or is it just that person who just messaged me to say it's in and out? Uh, Yativ Bramel, good morning. Again, are you guys hearing me loud and clear? Simone Greaves says yes, loud and clear, which means Simone get a good phone. Thank God she threw away the mango pelter. All of you guys are hearing me loud and clear. Otra Gooding, good morning. Rochelle is hearing. Sandra is hearing. Okay, okay. Rajendra Devnath, what's up, my friend? Um, Marlin Kamini Van Veen. Good morning, Marlin. Collis, okay, okay. All of you guys are hearing loud and clear. The person who just texts me to say that they're not hearing loud and clear, they need to have a good phone. You cannot listen to me with an old BlackBerry phone and expect it not to be in and out. An old BlackBerry phone that you have and complaining that you're not hearing properly, you know. So if you have a BlackBerry phone, don't listen to this show because it's going to be in and out. Yeah, I hope the individual who messaged me got that message that it's their BlackBerry phone. All right, so what else you guys want us to discuss this morning? What else we can talk about? I want to hear from you guys, and it's kind of like not really. It's sad that you guys can call in, but I wish you guys could have called in so that oh, Father. Then Francine Cruz, come now. Misbehaved the other day, caused a set of problems on social media, and disappeared, and now returned to tell me, Mark, you need to turn up the volume. Oh, Father. Francine, good morning to all of you guys there at Long Island Nursing Home. We don't want any trouble this morning, Francine. We are a respectful family here on Straight Up, and we want to keep it that way. Piri Piri asking if the alleged gold smuggler got a seat. I don't know if the alleged gold smuggler got a seat. I just don't know if the alleged gold smuggler got a seat. Good question, Piri Piri. Um, David Blair from Hope Tongue. Hope Tongue. Sunita Sugrim, good morning to you, ma'am. Corinne Ben wants to talk about Dharam Lal. All right, so good morning again to you guys. Let's begin with some action here. Serious allegations leveled against this guy, Dharam Lal. Dharam Lal is the minister, quote unquote, yeah, the minister of local government, and serious allegations of rape is being leveled against him. And I noticed that the shadow minister of local government, Ganesh Mahipal, on his page is calling on those in authority to do something about this matter, to comment about the matter, because the allegations of rape against him is very serious. The age of the person, the age of the young lady is 16 years old. Again, I repeat, she is 16 years old, and the inducement started when she was 15. And so, based on the allegations, if we were to, let's go back to it here. And the allegations, if you're now joining us, this 16-year-old, she's now 16. She's alleging that she was raped by this guy, Nigel Dharamlal. Again, these are allegations being leveled against him, allegations. And so I just want to make that clear. And this was sent, at least Irfan Ali should be aware of this. Priya Manik Chan should be aware of this. And the letter says here, Dear, and she addressed Irfan as president. Dear so-and-so Ali, cabinet members, private sector, members of the diplomatic community, citizens of Guyana. I would like to let you know what Minister Nigel Dharamlal has done to me. It's because I'm scared for my life that I am doing this. I see no other way. Nigel Dharamlal has preyed upon me, groomed me, and raped me. These are the allegations, again, allegations being leveled against Nigel Dharamlal, who is the Minister of Local Government in Guyana. The letter continues. The first time I met Minister Nigel Dharamlal was in September 2022 for our pageant Heritage launched at the Ministry of Amerindian, now Ministry of Indigenous Affairs. We took a group photo together with all the delegates. I had great respect for him as a government minister. I was 15 years old. I turned 16 years old on September 16, 2022. He insisted that I collected his phone number from my chaperone, and I didn't because it was of no importance to me. I was not his Facebook friend, but yet he sent me a message in my inbox a day after I met him, asking me to contact him on his personal number 600-8868. He eventually gave me another of his cell phone numbers, 624-8868, so that I can get him anytime I want. He said that he was the representative for my region and wanted to make sure I win the contest. During the courtesy call that we had with him, apparently it was evident that he had his eyes on me. One of the delegates told me the minister Sukai seemed as if she noticed what he was doing and warned me to stay away from him. That delegate later told me he used to constantly message her to go by him and always checking to see if she was free before and after the pageant. But because MP Lennox Schumann, oh, yeah, that's another sad case scenario. But anyways, let me continue here. But because MP Lennox Schumann had warned her about him, she didn't engage him. I will withhold her name for privacy reasons. I will continue. He also assisted two other heritage queens to get here for the Heritage Days celebration, but that was directly through me and the RDC. Another delegate from another region said she heard about what he does in the region. He did inbox her on Facebook and wished her luck before the pageant. She didn't respond. I won't disclose their identity here due to privacy reasons. That's according to what the young lady is saying here, and I will continue. Quote, he was trying all around to see which of the delegates he can befriend, but he knew he stood a better chance with me because he is responsible for that specific region number 2, and I was relying on them. Later, and now as I got these messages, it might be, if it appears to be all over the place, I'm just reading as I get it so you guys can get a better understanding as to what the, and I repeat, allegations are leveled against this guy, Nigel Dharamlal. I shall continue now with what the young lady is saying. Later, he kept asking me multiple times via phone calls to have a relationship with him for 3 months straight. I cried about this to my mom because he was pressuring me a lot. I didn't tell her the details, but I said the pressure from him I cannot handle. I was embarrassed and confused. The calls were almost unbearable, and most times I just ignored it. I gave in after much pressure and started accepting his phone calls, and we would talk. He continued to call me, asking to meet him. I made excuses every time he asked me out. Every time he visited Region 2, he kept messaging me to meet up with him. He said I was the only one and he was serious about wanting a relationship with me. Although I would take his calls and listen to him because I felt obligated since he was my sponsor, I would ignore his sweet talks. And the letter continues. Now, here is where let us go back. And I just want to say again, these are allegations, serious allegations leveled against a sitting government official. Once again, serious allegations being leveled against a sitting government official whose name is Nigel Dharamlal. No stranger to controversies, none whatsoever. And I've seen some of you remember who he is. And he is known as the Dildo Man. This is the guy who sat in Parliament. And I want you guys to listen to this. This is a guy who sat there in Parliament and who actually stood up. I hope Joylyn Cutting and all of you guys are listening. Good morning to all of you who have joined in Parliament. And he said that a female member of the opposing side in Parliament needs a dildo. A dildo. So he is known as the Dildo Man. So yes, this is the Dildo Man. And the allegations here by this 16-year-old girl are serious allegations. And I hope that there is an investigation launched with immediate effect. And we need to hear from those in authority ASAP. Because no right-thinking Guyanese, parents, human beings should sit down and allow the allegations to go without any form of investigation. It should not be dismissed. And usually what happens under these circumstances, they rush to go after family members or even the victims in an attempt, and in most cases, they are successful at bribing the victims and the victims' relatives to settle the story, let it done. And so there are times when you hear that they withdraw the story, all because a bribe was paid, a hefty bribe was paid. And let us keep an eye as to where this matter goes. This is not a situation where, as we already understand the judicial system in Guyana, where in most instances, these serious matters are swept under the rug, that the victims don't get justice. And the victims, they are victims at times who prefer to take the little bribery because they are told what a sense you go ahead with this matter. You will only embarrass yourself. Don't do that. You want your whole life ahead of you. You ain't gonna get justice in court. And all these things they do to bribe victims. And they don't give them, offer them a little $5 million. Man, take this what you want. You rather go to court. The police ain't gonna go nowhere with this. All manner of things you hear in order to settle the matter. And it's done with. It is swept under the rug, and there's no justice. And the victims, in the case this allegation, they've proven to be true. And I'm not denying, I'm not saying that, the young lady might be, who would want to put themselves out there to fabricate such a story? And so I'm not entertaining any fabrication of this story at all. But what I would say is that they are allegations, and they are serious allegations. Could you imagine these allegations, if and when proven to be true? Can you imagine what the victim might be going through and will have to go through for the rest of her life? Just imagine that. Imagine if it's your loved one, someone close to you. Just imagine. But yet, the justice system in Guyana fails victims. All because we have some members of the Guyana police force are corrupt. We have a corrupt DPP chambers that do not go, for the most part, and people question the DPP, they do not go after victims, especially if the perpetrator or the perpetrators are connected to the government, the corrupt installed PPP regime. And now I got you, Ruth Gann. Sounds like she speaks from her heart. Many people would assume and would conclude that that is the case, speaking from her heart. Now let's continue with part of this letter here. I have gave in after much pressure and started accepting his calls. And we would talk. He continued to call me asking to meet him. I made excuses every time he asked me out, and so forth. Well, we read that part. He then sponsored a day drive, which I was responsible for. Now, I will read again, right? He then sponsored a day drive, which I was responsible for. I had to uplift the stuff. 500 toys from his office around the second week of December. And since I knew that he would have harassed me again, I took my mom with me since she had a few concerns to raise with him. My mom is a community enhanced worker under his ministry. She is also his Facebook friend. I called him and told him my mom would be coming, and he said, "Oh, she coming to meet your son-in-law." I just laughed it out because what a stupid thing to say. My mom is 36 years and my dad is 43. The minister is 49. So how could that be possible? Not with me, a 16-year-old, for sure. When we arrived at his office, I tell you, the treatment he showed my mom, I believe he was the best MP in Parliament because he literally served them. That was the moment I decided to let my guard down because I thought he wasn't such a bad person after all. He wasn't such a bad person after all. Let me get some of your take on what you just heard there, and I'll put a pause on the letter. Let me get your take on on this particular matter? What is your take? We'll get back to elections matter after this. We can't be confusing and mix everything up together. We don't want that at all. So let me get your take on these allegations and the allegation of rape that is being leveled against a sitting government minister. A sitting government minister, the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Dharamlal, is being accused of raping a 16-year-old schoolgirl. Accused of, accused of, again, I wish to repeat. What's your take on this particular situation before we move on to the elections and the rigging? I'm reading some of your comments. Elijah, yeah, forgive me, Miss Duran, says, I don't believe that young lady is making it up. Mr. John Jones says, fire for this rape man, as he's being accused of, mind you, accused. Piri Piri says, Mark, he is a child grooming demon. Donna McDonald says, this is a pattern for this man. Janice Booker says, Mark, that girl is a very smart and intelligent child. Jail that man, Janice Subtio. Roberto Gonzalez. Buenos dias, mi amigo. The mother working for him, Michelle Tyrrell Christie. Yes, the mother works in the ministry in her region under his ministry. The mother is 36 years old. The father is 43, and the little girl is 16. Conrad August, it's a family business. It's a family business. And then Conrad is bringing in allegations of Colin Crowell. And let me just correct you, Conrad, that Colin Crowell is not the half-brother of Nigel Dharamlal. Colin Crowell is said to be the half-brother of Robert Prasad, who is foreign relations, whatever it is. And Robert Prasad happens to be the nephew-in-law of Bharat Jagdeo. And so, in terms of a question here, I see from Desiree Simmons is asking, when was the letter sent out? That's a good question, but it's a good question as to when these guys became aware of this. When I say these guys, meaning Irfan Ali, and of course they're going to jump up and they're going to say we're not aware of this. This is new. It's an allegation. Of course, we are saying, and we maintain that it's an allegation, mind you. We maintain that it's an allegation. And I just want to keep repeating that it is an allegation. And I keep repeating, I'll say again, it's an allegation that's being leveled, serious allegation that's being leveled against Nigel Dharamlal. Serious allegations being leveled against Nigel Dharamlal. Yep, sorry about that. We get some elections information that's coming in. Even at this time, we are dealing with this particular matter, but we will get to the elections matter. I know you guys are deeply and rightfully so concerned about that. I notice Wayne Caesar. Good morning to you, Wayne, our frequent commentator right here on 107.1 FM. again, good morning to you, Wayne. Wayne is saying, Mark, this allegation um, is well laid out with full supporting details and timelines. I am leaning in favor of the young lady. Remember, this guy has a history of these sort of allegations. And so that is where we are at this point in time calling for an investigation into this matter. I agree with Wayne. Wayne says, and you guys also have heard that if I were a detective, I would have gathered my team together, the lead detective, and first get phone records. Phone records. Phone records to see the communication, the frequency of the communication between the two of them, and other details indeed. And as to whether taxpayers' dollars were being used to seduce little girls. Yeah, sorry about that. And the 500 toys and these sort of things, they have to be investigated. The mother works under his ministry in Region 2. The mother would be investigated in terms of asking questions, not interrogated, but investigated. The phone records and all these things, they cannot erase the phone records just like that, but there's a process, and the phone records are right there. The the little girl has text messages also. Text messages also. Good morning, Antonio Hackett. Long time, my friend. Very long time. Antonio Hackett is saying, hey, Mark, these people, these people, sorry, these people, sorry about that, guys. So Antonio Hackett is saying, these people, these people own everywhere, phone company and all. I got you, Hackett. They think they own everywhere. They think so, but I got you. Azad Hamid, good morning to you, sir. Azad Hamid is making a point here too, and he's saying, men, well, I assume you say, man, you people have to stop. Who going to investigate the PPP top heads? If the citizens and the opposition don't do it, no police going to. So get real. Well, Azad, I kind of agree with you there because, but where I disagree with you is you can't expect the opposition to investigate. The opposition is not an arm of the police or an investigating team. They could highlight these matters and they can call for an investigation. And this is where I would say that I have seen, and I give some kudos here to Mr. Ganesh Mahipal. And let's go on his Facebook page. And let me read what Ganesh Mahipal, who is the shadow minister of local government, that watchman, so to speak, Dharamlal. And Mr. Mahipal here says, he's calling out Priya Manik Chand, he's calling out Vidya Vasni Prasad, who happens to be the Minister of Social Services. He's calling out Deodat Indar. I don't know why he's calling out Deodat Indar. Deodat Indar should be under investigations himself for allegedly walking into a poll station and allegedly interfering with the process. He's also, Ganesh Mahipal, that is calling out Mohabir Anil Nandalal, uh, that's another issue. And he's calling out Vikram Bharat, U Todd, Bishop One Edgel, should call out all of them, and all the others. You people are, and this is from Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahipal, who is saying here on his Facebook page over an hour ago in this post. Sorry, yeah, in this post, Mr. Mahipal is saying here, you people are in receipt of damning allegations concerning a colleague of yours and saying absolutely nothing. Don't you people have children? Is it not nasty to say the least to protect a monster? What the hell is this? And he addressed Irfan Ali as president. But I don't. But he addressed Irfan Ali here. He says, Irfan Ali, you are a father. For the sake of that child, meaning, for the sake of that child, meaning this little girl, please do something. Please do the right thing. This is not the first or the second, but the third time something of this nature is being raised surrounding this monster. Why is he still in your government, Irfan? End of quote. Ganesh Mahipal. Ganesh is a member of parliament representing APNU AFC in parliament. I have gone now to the comment section on Ganesh Mahipal's page. One person is asking to name the culprit. And knowing how you Guyanese are, somebody already say, Dildo Man, Dharamlal. Dildo Man, Dharamlal. Somebody's saying here now that Nigel Dharamlal, and they use the RAPED word, but I will say allegedly, raped a 16-year-old Amerindian girl, indigenous schoolgirl. He met the parents yesterday and paid them hush money. It's all on WhatsApp messages. Irfan Ali and Manik Chan are aware and sent Nigel to settle the matter. This is what we're hearing here from someone who goes by the name of Liz on Facebook. Now, these are all allegations, but as we get back to the hush money business, it is nothing new in Guyana. The hush money. And oftentimes they use it against people without any economic power or whatever to say that, why waste your time to go through the court system? Look who the allegations are leveled against. Don't waste your time. Take the money. That's what they do. They force the victims and their relatives, sometimes even parents, to just accept hush money. Now, if what Liz is saying in Ganesh comment section is accurate, if it is accurate, and that Irfan Ali is aware of this, and Priya Manik Chan is aware of this, and allegations are leveled against them now. If allegations are leveled against them now about sending this minister of the government, the installed government, to go and pay hush money, again, allegations, well, then they need to come forward almost immediately and make a statement. They need to do that immediately. And not only just make a statement, an investigation should be launched with immediate effect. with immediate effect. And while there is this investigation, then the minister should have to step aside with immediate effect. But when the minister steps aside, there is a junior minister by the name of Anand Prasad, who, according to information, is not far away from having a mentality like this guy. So, I don't know. Guyana, you guys, some of you guys like to say Guyana is a strange place. Guyana not only a strange place, Guyana is run by a bunch of corrupt individuals. And I wouldn't stretch it as far as to say Guyana is a strange place. Guyana is currently run by some strange people, some corrupt individuals. On Priya Manikchand's page, it is very quiet. One day ago, she posted something about CXC, and that was it. 2 days ago, she just said warmest congratulations and to all the candidates that won the local government. That's all. Nothing else we're going to see or hear from these folks. But at Jack Deere's so-called press conference, he's going to talk about, he's going to attack Ganesh and some money story and Ganesh at UG. Little pittances, right? Probably a little couple dollars. And Ganesh spoke about that on many occasions. Many occasions. There was no crime or anything. But Jack Deere loves to throw that in Ganesh's face about some allegation of little chump change at UG. Allegations that Ganesh has addressed on numerous occasions. But we don't want to hear about Ganesh and little piggy bank money. We don't. Ganesh explained the situation and it was no crime committed. We want to hear about the hundreds of millions of dollars that you, Jack Deere, that you are stealing. Taxpayers' monies that you are stealing and giving to your friends and cronies. That is what we want to hear about. We don't want to hear about, a Roysdale Ford, this or this other body, this, these guys committed no crime. And according to what Sue has said, and the investigations conducted by that journalist from Vice News, guess what? Those allegations about bribery and corruption are far more serious than the little piggy bank issue with little chump change at Ganesh when Ganesh was attending UG, and some frivolous dotishness about Roysdale Ford, some dotishness that people aren't concerned about those dotishness, where no crime was committed and all these things. He loves to throw allegations around at people. And he sits there as the biggest hypocrite. Probably the biggest criminal they got in Guyana right now is Bharat Jack Deere. But he doesn't want these investigations on himself. When Sue came out with his allegations and boldly said that that's how they make money, he said that he welcomes an investigation. He didn't welcome no investigation. They've ducked it, and that's it. Irfan Ali said that there will be an investigation. They ducked it, and that's it. But yet Jack Deere wants to sit there and accuse other people. Oh, poor Ganesh, a little piggy bank story. Poor Ganesh. But Jack Deere ain't going to talk how we get a big house there, that so-called mansion, where he stole the people's ancestral land in Plaisance, knocked down NCN dish, deprived the people of a ball field that is supposed to be a gift from the Adams family in Plaisance and so forth. So he has no moral authority to talk about thieving. None whatsoever. The biggest thief Guyana has right now is Bharat Jack Deere. Not only that he thief your taxpayers' money and he gives hundreds of millions to his friends and cronies, like what he did, almost 200 or 300 million dollars taxpayers' money he took and gave his friend Buddies to build Buddies International Hotel. And not so long after, Buddies sold it to some guys from Turkey, some Turkish. And that is how it's renamed now, Princess International Hotel. And then he took hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars from NIS. NIS, the National Insurance Scheme. And he gave it to his friends and cronies. His friends and cronies to build the Berbice River Bridge, the Jack Dale's Passage, almost bankrupt the NIS. Thank God that the coalition government got in there in time to save NIS. NIS was hanging on a little piece of thread in the ICU. Thank God for the coalition for saving the NIS. Thank God for the coalition for saving Guyana. They had a heck of a lot of cleaning up to do, but thank God they started the cleaning up process. Yes, we know more could have been done. Yes, we know if they had more caring ministers who understand the struggle, things would have been way better. But we've got to give Jack his jacket. We've got to give the APNU, despite some of their shortcomings, we've got to give them credit for starting the cleanup campaign of the entire Guyana, not just Georgetown. Look at Georgetown when the coalition got into office. Beautiful, clean city, clean capital city under the coalition. As some of you guys would say, some dirty and stink or whatever it is. It was dirty. It was filthy. It was known as the garbage capital of the world under the PPP regime. So Jack Dale has no moral authority to talk about things. He has no moral authority to talk about bribery and corruption. None whatsoever. I'm sure if we look up into, people love to look up into the sky and say that heaven, they're up there. But if we were to do that, God would look down and smile at all of us whenever Jack Dale laughing. And God has a sense of humor as well, I am sure, for those who believe in God. At least I do believe that there's a creator, mind you. I'm not an atheist. And so when this guy Jack Dale, who doesn't believe in God, mind you, when he speaks, you got to wonder, you got to question him. Everything he does, you got to question him because there's nothing serious or genuine about him. Nothing. And so back to the story with Ganesh. And I commend Ganesh Mahipal for going and bringing this story out there as we brought it to you last night, but I see Ganesh made a post about it, this morning. Kudos to Ganesh Mahipal. But we also have a shadow minister of education who should also pick up on this matter. The shadow minister of education is Natasha Singh. Natasha Singh Lewis. She's the shadow minister of education. And then we got a shadow minister of social services. These guys should take this letter, take the allegations, sit at a press conference, and this is what you do. I'm, proactive. Sit at a press conference. It is not too late. Sit at a press conference and talk about this situation. Because if I'm not mistaken, when Dharamlal stood up in Parliament and addressed the minister, I believe, the member of Parliament, I believe he was addressing, and you guys could remember, but I believe he was addressing Natasha Singh Lewis, either Natasha Singh Lewis or it could have been Coretta McDonald. But please correct me, please. So they should be having a press conference. They should be having a press conference. Ms. Simons, I'm not sure if it was addressed to the opposition, but I read out who it was addressed to. Um, but I'm not sure that the uh, whether the opposition was included in that address. But now it's in the hands of some members of the opposition. They should address it. And that's the relevancy here. They should address it, whether it was addressed to them or not. They should now, because it's a serious allegation that's leveled against a government official, a very serious allegation, and therefore they should now be proactive by calling a press conference, holding a press conference on the matter. And not only that, walk into the police station through their shadow minister of Home Affairs, Ms. Geeta Chandan, walk into the police station to hand the allegations over to the police. So the police can't say that they haven't heard anything about the allegations. They can't, because the opposition MPs would have done their job. But thus far, I would want to say, and I have said this earlier, kudos to Ganesh Mahipal for putting this out, or I saw 1 hour ago for talking about this matter on his Facebook page. Again, I wish to reiterate, it's an allegation of rape against Minister Nigel Dharamlal. Allegations, that is. Pascal Gusto, my friend from Italy. Good morning to you, sir. Pascal Paquit Gusto, all the way from Italy, is saying here, and good morning, Pascal. Everything gets swept under the rug. You see, even the Italians know that, right, Gusto? Everything gets swept under the rug because a lot of those people have deep, dirty secrets. So they collaborate to uphold their corrupt practices. Thank you. Mucho, mucho gracias, mi amigo Gusto. Naomi Drucker is asking here, where are all the women organizations? They should come out because this is now being made public. Last night we brought it to your attention, and they should be out soon. We get an idiot that is on this line as we're talking about serious matter, and some Abid Ali, some kunumunu by the name of Abid Ali, saying, addressing Shanet Alicia, y'all lost the elections again. Where these guys just come from, man? Lemon, do the usual thing. Where these guys pop up from? They like no sense. Gosh. Francine Cruz is saying the PPP criminal enterprise must be jailed. Yes, it must be jailed. Hopefully soon. They must be jailed. But let us see what's going to happen with this particular situation. We really want to see what's going to happen to this situation. And let us just see what's going to actually happen to the situation. I try to get in touch with Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahipal to get a quick comment on this serious allegation that's being leveled against Nigel Dharamlal. But Mr. Mahipal indicates that he's in a meeting. I hope Mr. Mahipal will get some time, find some time, so that we can get an update on this matter from the Shadow Minister of Local Government, Member of Parliament, Ganesh Mahipal. And so hopefully when he gets out of that meeting, we will be able to hear something from him. Something from Mr. Ganesh Mahipal. Um, so we'll take a quick break because I got some folks messaging me about this particular the allegations of rape, and I want to take a quick look at some of these messages while I get back in touch with you guys and spend a few minutes more before we go. Because coming up at 11:30 is the usual Friday program, issues in the with President David Arthur Granger. But we still have another 15 minutes with you guys.
So, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
All right, welcome back again. Let us move away from this for a moment. We will get back to it. It's now in the hands of Irfan Ali. So Irfan Ali and Priyamanik Chand and all these self-righteous folks, including that other goon, Barajak Deal, it's all over in their hands now. So let's get back to the elections for a couple of minutes, please, as we prepare to wrap up shortly. The elections, the local government elections, sufficient evidence there to suggest that there were massive amount of rigging in areas where the PPP, they're now claiming that there was a tie. So everywhere there is a tie, the opposition has to be very careful because there was rigging there. There was rigging in Madhya. The PPP now claims a tie. The PPP rigged in Bartica. They're now claiming a tie. Now let me ask you this. People in Madhya are upset with the PPP. So I hope that the opposition, mainly the opposition leader, would have frequent press conferences and updates and so forth. And even some of those within the PNC who love to spend a lot of time in their social media, inbox messages, their group chats and so forth, and burning their energy up on, in some situations, inconsequential matters, could find it fit to go out in front of GCOM, and protest so that we can hear directly, the citizens of Guyana can hear directly from the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission as to what really transpired in this just recently concluded, well, not officially concluded, compliments of GCOM, who is alleged to be part of this big fraudulent rigging scheme and are in bed with the PPP regime that assisted the PPP regime to rig local government elections. Claudette Singh needs to respond to those allegations of corruption, of rigging the elections. Because, again, I say, look at what happened in Bartica. Is it a surprise that Bartica is tied? Is it a surprise that Madhya is tied? Is it a surprise that New Amsterdam, the PPP lost by 1 seat? And Jagdeo said that there are just a couple of boxes that he needs to have a recount. Just a couple of boxes. So understand what's going on there, right? With just a couple of boxes. And then if we're not careful, we may soon hear that the New Amsterdam now might be 4 seats of PPP and 3 seats for the coalition. Just be careful of these things. Again, we look at Plaisance. Plaisance, another tie. And where else in the world that we'll have all these ties? Not, ties. New Amsterdam, we couldn't get a tie because there was an uneven number there, right? Odd number. 7 seats. So there couldn't be a tie there unless you get 3.5 each, right? But there wasn't a tie, equal number. If there were like 8 constituencies in New Amsterdam, then 4 would have gone for APNU and 4 would have gone for PPP. And then we would have gotten a tie in New Amsterdam. We would have gotten a tie in Bartica. We would have gotten a tie in Madhya, as we do now. We have a tie in Bartica. We have a tie in Madhya. But because we have 7 constituencies in New Amsterdam, there was no place for a tie. But the PPP ensured that they rigged the election so much. They rigged the election so much that they got 3 of the 7 seats in New Amsterdam. But listen again. I don't want to be repetitive. Listen again to what Jack Dale has said. That the New Amsterdam, they're just a couple boxes that they want a recount. And I'm almost certain, I'm not sure if the recount finished and if the victory for New Amsterdam is sealed off. But were they to have a recount, they already have stuffed ballot papers in those boxes that Jack Dale wants to recount. So when you open the box or the boxes and you think that there is an actual recount, they already rigged the system. And then when you go to Platanka, there is a tie. After a recount, we found out that 5 votes that were supposed to be for PPP and they weren't registered as PPP votes. So we had to correct that. And then in New Amsterdam, the same thing. And then in other places, the same thing. So there's a pattern of rigging by the PPP, by Bharat Jagdeo. Again, I ask this question. Where else in the world you got so many ties? Ties here, ties there, tie in Madhya, tie in Bartica, almost a tie in New Amsterdam, tie in Plaisance, tie in Platanka. Holy smoke. Roberto Gonzalez, can you believe this guy? Can you guys believe this guy? And look, they think that people are dotish. They think that we are dotish. You could see right through Bharat Jagdeo. He sat there at his so-called press conference and let me see here. And we won. And let me see over here. A set of stupid papers he got. And it shows that we have gained votes in Linden. In 2018, we had 10 votes. In 2023, we now have 210 votes. Again, they rigged the system. But because in Linden, it was a tough task for them to really rig. It was a tough task. What they did, they ensured that they rigged a bit so that they can get seats via what is called the PR, the Proportional Representative List. So once they get 1 or 2 seats, they will try to paint that as some sort of a success story. But what Jagdeo didn't tell you guys, or his support base, is that they had 1 constituency seat in Linden, and they lost it. They lost it. So the little scramble up votes that they get from the PR side, the PR is usually, I think the top, you vote for PR, and the bottom is the constituency candidate. And so they get the leftover votes for the PR, and they get 2 PR seats, and they're running around as though that's a success story. It is not a success story. It surely isn't. Because when you spend billions of dollars in an elections, as I've said, to buy votes and to corrupt people, and you only get 2 of the PR seats in Linden, something is wrong with you. Something is very wrong. Something is wrong with you. I don't know. Something is definitely wrong with you. So, what is happening again? What is happening at GCOM smells of serious corruption. And that is why people are concerned. People want to hear more from the opposition. Ganesh Mahipal is the shadow minister of local government. I'm not sure if Ganesh is being allowed to speak, but Ganesh should have been at the press conference yesterday next to Aubrey Norton. He is the relevant shadow minister. Again, I repeat, he is the relevant shadow minister. He should have been at that press conference yesterday, but he wasn't. And so there's nothing else I can say or do about that other than he wasn't. He just wasn't. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Y'all don't ask me. I don't know. And so the other thing is we also need to hear from the 3 commissioners. The 3 commissioners should be updating us as regularly as possible on what is happening there at GCOM. But we are not hearing from our 3 commissioners either. Let us create this scenario that if it was a flip side of things and the coalition had done all of these things while in office, what do you think the PPP would have done? Do you think the PPP would have been eating pulori or puri with sour or peanut butter and bread or bacon saltfish? No. The PPP would have had a bunch of their supporters in front of GCOM right now. That's not the opposition style of politicking. Mark, shut your mouth. That's not the opposition style of politicking. Mark, shut your mouth. Mark is this. Mark, shut your mouth, Mark. You're always attacking the opposition. You're always attacking the MPs. Shut your mouth, Mark. Some of you guys say that, right? And it's okay. I have a thick skin. I can take it. I don't lose my cool. I don't get angry. I still love you guys. And now let me see if I can get in touch with at least someone. But then again, they're going to say they're busy. The usual thing. But the PPPs now, the PPP, their commissioners at GCOM would have been holding press conferences upon press conferences. They would have been saying that Claudette Singh is corrupt. She's colluding with the coalition, and she's this and all manner of things. Every ball by ball commentary. But we hardly hearing anything from the opposition. And then when we say we hardly hearing anything from the opposition gets vexed. The leadership gets vexed. They feel that we shouldn't say anything. We should allow them to sleep. It's just like they have some mornings I got to wake up my son for school, my younger son, Jonathan. or even Emma, my daughter. You got to wake them up for school. Their times. Hey, Jonathan, come on. You got to get up, buddy. Come on, let's go. You got to wake them up. Emma, come on, let's go. Some occasions to remember, got to wake up Ryan as well, too, right? But now he has his alarm clock. Ding, and he's up. He's gone. So the point I'm making is that, and even sometimes when we oversleep, somebody got to wake us up. I don't think Anne wakes me up sometimes. She allows me to sleep and sleep so that I wouldn't come on the air. I think I got to investigate that. And so with the coalition, we are simply waking them up. We don't hate them. We're not against them. We want the best for them. They got to be early. They got to get going. They got to do what is it that they got to do, and so forth. So we wake them up. Don't you think if you are sitting and I think that happened to me once. I'm sitting at a stoplight and I knock in a doors. Somebody got to wake you up. Hey, sometimes it goes a long way. Wake you up. And that's what we're trying to do with the opposition. We're trying to wake them up. Wake up. Good morning, Mr. Aubrey Norton. Good morning to you. We got to wake them up. No, I'm told by our operator, thank you, Lemon. We're going until 12 now. He keeps putting it, we're going until 12 now. All right, we'll talk until 12. We got to wake them up. We got to wake the MPs up. Well, we wake the MPs up and tell them, go out there in your constituencies. Go out in your communities. Go out and work. Go out and be there with the people. All sorts of things you're hearing. Oh, Ben Chap attacking. They love to use that word, attack. Thank you, Sean and Alicia. Gotta wait. And so that is what they usually say, attack. Attack. And even some of their diehard supporters. It's as though when you constructively criticize their party leader, they get vexed too. But it is for their own interest. Shows like these this is not a PNC show. If the PNC want their show, they get Andrew Weeks and they get others at Congress Place, could have their own show there, and I would agree that they can be 100% pro-PNC. But this is not a 100% pro-PNC program. We're sympathetic to the opposition, yes. I am, and I have no apologies for that. But y'all can't expect every day 100% pro. They got to get lash. We got to wake them up. Because if we don't wake them up, they will become complacent. And when they become complacent, guess what is it? Y'all gonna start bicker, y'all gonna start cry, and some of y'all gonna come on this program and y'all gonna say, Mark, how come we don't hear from this body? How come we don't hear from that body? Who is the shadow minister of Home Affairs? Wish you there. Who is the shadow minister of Housing? Oops. Good morning, Annette Ferguson, if she's watching, right? And then y'all come and y'all ask these questions. We got to wake them up. When we try to wake up the opposition leader, the Honorable Aubrey Compton Norton, y'all, some of y'all get vexed. They got some of y'all, if y'all to catch me, y'all would choke me by. Carry me at McDonald's and give me some steel sandwiches and all kind of thing. Y'all ain't easy. But look, on a more serious note, we got to wake them up, man. If we didn't wake up the people through this program, you guys did a heck of a good job in the local government elections. Whether you guys are listening to us here in here on social media or on the ground, I know you guys played that part. And I say kudos to you, all of you who meant well, not the trench crappos. Just imagine, and just want you guys to think about this for a minute. The local government elections, we weren't hearing much about what the opposition were doing on the ground. And people on the ground were complaining that they weren't seeing much activities at all. But we here, you guys who were part of this family, 107.1 FM family, and that's why I like you guys, right? We can't disrespect or insult each other. And it's not going to be tolerated. And so all of us collectively decided to wake those guys up back home, wake those representatives up back in Guyana. And we decided that, look, this local government elections is so important that we cannot allow the PPP to snatch Linden, to snatch Georgetown, to snatch New Amsterdam, to snatch Bartica. But now we're hearing there's a tie in Bartica, there's a tie in Madja. Surprisingly, right? To wake the people up now in New Amsterdam, to go out and vote. Just imagine if we had taken a position, whatever happens. You know, I want to say also a special thank you to the overseas-based Guyanese who played a crucial role in this still to be concluded local government elections. Kudos to those in the diaspora. Wherever you are in the diaspora, kudos to you guys. You guys didn't play around. You guys didn't mess around. You guys did your part. And these are the same people, some of them back home, they love to cuss people in the diaspora. They love to do that. They love to do that. And they're seldomly thankful for the role that people in the diaspora, Guyanese in the diaspora, play. And so I want to say thank you to all of you. Now let's get back to the rigging of elections. Yep, I'm reading some of your comments, right? So yeah, we need to hear from the opposition. We're not hearing from them. Let me try to get in touch with someone, and let's see if that person is willing to come and say something. I'll be right back in just about a minute or so. Please don't go anywhere at all, because we're not giving up anything.
We are a peaceful people, struggling we struggle, and we no look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, and we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass. This land is our land now. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we are moving from here, make no mistake. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, no, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, Not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of
Hi, guys. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Lots of messages coming in. The people of Plaisance, they're very unhappy about this. They're very, very unhappy. Let me address some of the trench crappos, and that's what they are, trench crappos. They can't think. BB Mark, we know it's not BB Mark. She'd love to have BBB Mark, but she just puts out BB Mark. And you can just tell the fake pages, but BB Mark picture. BB there in a water there with a long dress on. And anyways, let's not lose focus. There's nothing much to lose focus on there, anyways. Riggers, LOL, and you know that's all, and accusing the PNC. There is no evidence of that BB Mark or BB who wants Mark to be BB Mark. You know, and that's what they love to do. They love to ignore the rigging, ignore their corruption, ignore their rigging, ignore their corruption, and then go right back now about PNC. There's no evidence of the PNC rigging. At least no court has ever concluded that the PNC has rigged elections. And now let's talk about the PPP's rigging. The PPP has a history of rigging elections. Who robbed and rigged the PPP, the People Sorry of Region 10 one seat? It wasn't the PNC. Who was it again? It was the PPP. Who attempted to rig the 2011 elections by one seat? Oh, was it the PNC? No. It wasn't the PNC. It was the PPP. Who lost an elections petition in 1997, in the 1997 elections, when it was brought to court, and 4 years after it was adjudicated on? And who was the sitting judge at that time? It wasn't Mark Benshaw. It wasn't Mike. It wasn't Francine Cruz. It wasn't Janice Booker or Arlene Rubin Benjamin. It wasn't Desiree Simons. It wasn't John Adams. Guess what? It was Claudette Singh, who is sitting there right now as the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. In late 2000, she ruled, and the ruling was the 1997 elections vitiated because of a small piece of corruption on the part of the PPP. What if that elections petition was heard months after it was brought by Esther Pereira? I don't know what has happened to Esther Pereira, but that's another story. Esther was living out in Sophia, but I've met her a couple of years ago, and really, really sad story. And so we're seeing the trench crappos are coming out. They can't respond to these factual things that are being uttered this morning. They can't. They can't respond to the actual evidence. I'm showing you guys. This is not about propaganda. And so let's say the 1997 elections petition was heard and the election vitiated by Claudette Singh, which means that it was tossed aside and fresh elections had to have been called. Guess who the allegation was leveled against? It wasn't the PNC, it was the PPP. Then elections called in March of 2001. And of course, I can put my head on the block that Desmond Hoyt and the PNC won. The PNC reform won the March 2001 general and regional elections. Because PPP They have been engaging in corrupt practices at GCOM for a long time now. GCOM is filthy with regards to corruption. Did not Singh, the late, should know about that. He facilitated that. And then there was the illegal swearing in of Janet Jagan, who threw the court order over her shoulder. And then in 2000 and when was it? 2001 and so forth, after elections, they made Dodnath Singh Attorney General. And then in 2006, guess what? In 2006, they rigged the elections again by stealing one seat from the people of Region 10 and had their so-called Prime Minister, Sam Hines, sat on that seat for 5 years, from 2006 to 2011. But yet these PPP trench crappos, headed by the chief trench crappo, that butcher from Unity, Barra Jagdale, that butcher from Unity, loves to talk about PNC and call PNC people riggers. Where is the evidence? Don't tell me about Bornham days. Tell me about what we're seeing now. From 97 to now. Tell me what we're seeing now. Y'all think GCOM easy? If y'all think GCOM easy, ask the former chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Joe Singh, Brigadier General Joe Singh. Ask him. He had to run out of GCOM. And many people, when he became the chairman of GCOM, some of y'all, if y'all can remember, y'all were on the mountaintop, dancing around bamboo, dancing around flambeau lamp, winding up, bending down. You know, so I saw some people campaigning and winding up and bending over. And yeah. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that. Right? But enough of them start to beat the thing, and like if y'all that quick, right? Thinking wrong that Joe Singh I'm going there and straighten them out. And if you hear some of y'all beating tin and cup and thinking wrong Georgetown on Regent Street, some of the vendors them running up and hugging me, if you see, I take my hug, I ain't gonna lie, right? Running around all on Water Street, all over, yeah. Banners driving the car, honking their horns. Guys from the Linden bus park giving people free drops to Linden. You know, that'll never happen. Them buy some Linden bus parking, giving nobody free drop. But the point I'm trying to make is that people were happy when they heard that Joe Singh was selected as the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission. But when Joe Singh got in there, these soldiers, right? Anyways, and people were saying, yes, he gonna straighten things out. Oh, Joe Singh didn't last long. Joe Singh quit. He run away. He quit. He couldn't take it. I assume corruption was rampant. It was too much. He had to deal with guys like Gokul Budu, and others right there. Because it was Gokul Budu and the 2006 seat that's supposed to have gone to the AFC in 2006. They couldn't do anything with it. It got to go through an elections petition. And for 5 years, these sat in that seat that didn't belong to them. But these Pakus, these Longera, come on this show and want to call PNC people riggers. And then they love to say, show your SOPs. Are you sure, Abby, are your SOPs now? Look at this out of Qatar. Alfred Anthony, You would lie till you die. Hey, y'all think these people easy? Y'all think they're easy? They mean easy, they're barefaced. But let me respond to Alfred Anthony, who is telling me, you will lie till you die. It's like you want to drink poison right now. If anybody get a bottle of Gramazon or whatever is it, they get another poison back in the days named Molocrotus or something like that. He must be talking to this Kunumunu, not me. Because if you want to hear lie, if you want to know who is a liar, look at him right now. Look at him right now. Don't look at me and tell me that I can lie till I want. Not me, man. Not me. Not I. Not this Rasta man. Not me. As one of the cricketers from Borbies, when being interviewed, said, they asked if he does smoke. He said, I doesn't smoke and I doesn't drink. The Englishman brought him 1 dozen smoke cigarette and 1 dozen drink. So let me say this to Alfred. I doesn't smoke. I doesn't lie. Don't bring that lie stuff to me. Take it to this one here. License. Not to me. All right, Alfred, Anthony, whoever you are, you get your 15 minutes fame, right? But we ain't done with you yet. Look at Jack Dave in his face and tell him that same thing you tried to tell me. It ain't gonna stick. It ain't gonna stick on me. This is Jack Dave. Y'all hear this here now, and it's for Anthony and the other trench crappos there. Jack Dave, if you're watching, listen carefully, King Lion.
I know some of you wouldn't believe me, but if a lie asked me good friend Mackie, it was a big lying competition to see who they will crown as lion champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a feel about 1,000 or so entry in 2 days, he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on liar the lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger.
I know Jack Dave like that part. Yeah, the lion. Anyways, let's continue.
Fella named Tibo, come from some village there in Tobago. He say his father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fisherman wide 80 feet in span. He had to tight on the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie?
That is lie.
You hear lie? Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
Good. So I hope they got the message now, right? You looking at King Lion. A man who lies with tea, breakfast, and dinner. And one called poor me a liar? What's wrong with these people, man? Like goat bite them or rat eat out the little brain that they got? I don't know what's wrong with these guys, man. I feel like playing this song back and just rub up my head like how Kadaki likes to. Look, let me just do a Kadaki for them, man. Please. Let me do a Kadaki for them.
Why, sir? Check it out.
Sorry about that. Sometimes you gotta laugh at these people, You gotta laugh at these people. Good morning to Kadaki. Pull a Kadaki in there. Kadaki likes to dance or rub up your head. Pull a Kadaki in. These people are barefaced. Seriously. They are so barefaced. But here's what I want. Here's what I want to do. I want to know publicly, sorry. I want to ask the PPP, where are your SOPs? We want to see our SOPs. We believe that you guys have rigged the elections in areas where you couldn't have gotten control, and y'all rigged it to tie it in Madja, to tie it in Bartica, and y'all still haven't given up on New Amsterdam. Y'all want to rig New Amsterdam as well. And y'all still haven't won Plaisance. Y'all haven't won Plaisance. And so we want to find out what is happening also in Plaisance. That is what we want to find out. What's happening in Plaisance? But we could only ask for so much, right? Sorry about that. We can only ask for so much. We're not the opposition here. It is the opposition that got to do their job. We can only ask for so much. We can talk until thy kingdom come. I bet none of you could tell me what's in this teacup. If any one of you tell me what's in that teacup, what I'm drinking, you get $1,000 right now, just to prove to you guys that I'm not lying. $1,000. Brenda Casey said Guinness. Alicia Duran said tea. And John said dal. She can get kicked off this program soon. Desiree said green tea. Roxanne Bess said coffee. Somebody said water. Jason says something. Cheryl Panchan. Cheers to you. Cheryl is the winner. I think I stupid. Cheryl is the winner. $1,000. $1,000. $1,000. Ras Ricardo says swank. I haven't had swank in a while though. Red Bull in y'all. Red Bull. So we're talking, trying to calm down a little bit. Francine Cruz. Oh gosh. Francine Cruz said call Aubrey so we can hear from him. We're talking. Francine seemed like one of those serious old ladies in the nursing home there in Long Island. Good morning again, Francine. Good morning. I've invited Mr. Norton on the show. I've invited him. Yet to hear back from him. You know, we want these people to say whatever it is. But I got you, Francine. I got you. I got you. Good. And so, as promised, $1,000 go to the winner, and that is, I'm trying to, if we can get back to the winner, to give that person their $1,000, because I don't want people to say that we do not honor whatever it is that we do here. And so $1,000 go to Cheryl Pancham, who just won $1,000 right here on 107.1 FM. $1,000. So Miss Cheryl Pancham, if you're in Guyana, kindly let us know so that you can pick up your $5 US. 1,000 Guyana dollars. Congratulations to you. We wish you all the best with your $1,000. I'm sure you'll make good usage of that. Thank you so much. Yep. You see, we don't lie. We live up to our promises. And if we say you win, and you got it. So now let's get back to Plaisance. The people in Plaisance want answers. The people of Plaisance do not want the PPP to ruin them. And so the people in Plaisance are up in arms, so to speak. They are upset about this rigging of elections in Plaisance also by the PPP. They are upset about that. They want answers because no way on earth the PPP could beat the PNC or the APNU or whatever in Plaisance. No way, absolutely no way that can happen. So the conclusion, logical conclusion is the PPP has rigged the elections in Plaisance, the outcome of the elections. Also in Plaisance, in Platanka, in New Amsterdam, they rigged it, but they didn't get through. But they haven't given up. They have sent for a couple of boxes from New Amsterdam. I want you guys to hear this, That's why the PNC, the APNU, got to put up a fight. The PPP through GCOM have sent for some boxes in New Amsterdam so that they could take those boxes in GCOM and cook it up. I repeat, y'all don't be surprised and y'all don't start cry and holler when y'all hear that the PPP got 4 seats in New Amsterdam and the APNU PNC got 3 seats. Y'all don't cry if y'all hear that, because what the PPPC is seeing, they're not seeing that fight back from APNU PNC. They're not seeing it. And so they feel that they could do anything they feel that they can do to you. But then again, when we talk, people get vexed, I invited Mr. Norton last evening. Of course, sometimes these invitations are last minute. I admit that. And in politics, sometimes you've got to give space for last minute, And I've been around politicians for years now, donkey years, practically all my life. So I understand that. You got to get some extra time, a 5 minutes to spare. Sometimes it's spontaneous. Politicians operate like that. You think a lot of these politicians, when there are issues, and CNN contacts them or BBC and so forth, you think they're going to say, let's go through a process, man. I'm busy right now. No, they would love the opportunity to go on CNN and BBC and so forth. And all I'm trying to say is that we are the CNN for you guys. And so nothing is wrong with once you have a 5 minutes to spare at the last minute to come and talk about important things. We are the CNN. We got to admit that. We got some others who are BBC and so forth. But we are the CNN. I say that with a straight face too, right? All right. So yeah, but sorry about that. I'm getting some more. Like, for example, there's a message from some folks in Plaisance. So let me see what it's saying here in terms of the corruption. Some of the, like one particular candidate in constituency 5 in Plaisance is I just got it. Good. So here we're going on in Plaisance now. After they did this recount, after Desiree Simon is saying here, Mr. Norton did say that PPP have been given consent to do recounts, but the PNC's requests have been turned down. Okay, let's get back. So the PPPC's request have been granted for a recount. But the coalition, for the most part, turned down. And the coalition, APNU, PNC, going to sit back and say, okay, our requests were turned down. Let me go back to our homes, put on a pot of cook up, bust too hard coconut and eat with sugar. We made request and our request turned down. There's nothing more we can do. It's Friday. We request turned down. You know, one more we could do is just turn down. Just let me put on them kids' guitar. Oh. Good morning, good afternoon to you guys. I don't know, this is like painful. This coffee tea, nice and hot. Did I say coffee tea? You know, in Guyana, this is what they say, right? Coffee tea. It's Red Bull. So, Plaisance now. Here's how the PPP rigged it in Plaisance. Here what Sukrat's saying, Havendra. Hi, Havendra. Havendra is saying here, I agree with Havendra. Havendra is saying here, folks, don't be fooled. You know, it's as though Havendra is coming here to tell y'all. He just kicked down the door and walk inside just like that. To tell us, to tell y'all, don't be fooled. So he jumps in now and he wants y'all to believe Havendra Sukraj come out from God in heaven knows where, and he wants y'all to believe him. But let's give him Havendra a little time of the day. He didn't do nothing harmful, he didn't disrespectful or not, but he wants y'all to believe him. So now here's what Havendra is saying. Folks, don't be fooled. Any political party can request a recount for a particular polling station once it's within the stipulated time period. Fair enough, Havendra. But who is to say, and what is the stipulated time period? As long as the elections has not been made official, it's not done with, then within that stipulated time period, I agree. So are you suggesting that the PNC or APNU didn't make a timely request? And only the PPP made a timely request, and by virtue of that, all of the PPP's requests have been granted. And apparently, based on what we're hearing, nothing for the PNC was actually granted. Havendra? Are you there? So this is where we're seeing the one-sidedness. I'm not disagreeing with Havendra, but we're seeing the one-sidedness of JICA. They grant everything. PPP going to them for an ask for recount. They're granting the PPP everything. And they're denying the APNU PNC everything. They're granting one everything and denying another one everything. And this is what Havendra is saying to us. He's saying to you guys, folks, I, Havendra Sukraj, love you guys. Don't listen to Ben Sharp. Don't be fooled. There's what Havendra tried to tell you. No, we're not going to give Havendra the donkey. We wouldn't do that. At least Havendra is being respectful. And, so Havendra wouldn't get the donkey. Nothing is wrong with when folks come and they challenge and they behave in a respectful manner. And so it's democracy. It's democracy. Right, Avendra? Even Avendra laughing because Avendra got caught. Right? Admit it, Avendra. Admit it. Avendra, sorry about that. Sukraj should understand that every request, from my understanding, Avendra, every request coming from the opposition, APNU, PNC, were denied. And everything, like when you're cooking, what do you call it, shine rice? And you put everything inside, cook up all kind of thing. Sorry, shine rice is a step brother or step sister of cook up. You put everything in okra, balanje, okra, same, saijambaji, everything you put inside there, right? So everything in this thing that PPP make some sort of request for, GCOM grant them. And poor PNC, them run with them pata cook up, run with them sugar and hard coconut, and GCOM saying, nah, we don't want you. No. I go away from here. And then with the PPP, okay, we grant you. Oh, poor PNC. Nothing. And this is where we see the bias form at GCOM, how they operate. Hence, the reason for a huge question mark over the operational running, the daily running of GCOM. Now sorry about that. Let's head back to, thank you, Havendra. I get your point, but we got you. Havendra. But thanks for listening, though. Somebody said give Havendra the donkey. No, we wouldn't do that. At least he came very respectful, and we gave him that respect in return. So, where is it? Sorry. Plaisance now. Let's go. Industry Plaisance. APNU 1,746 after the recount. They beg for a recount. GCOM give them a recount. The PPP, that is. The PNC or APNU won Plaisance. But the PPP rushed quickly to ask for a recount. And GCOM said, yeah. Abi give you one recount. I take how much recount I want. But when I Katahar in the APNU PNC access for a recount, I give them nothing. Okay. So after the recount now, APNU or Partnership for National Unity got 1,746. PPP got miraculously, hey, I want to hear what PPP got? Miraculously, oh, my mama, PPP miraculously got 1,775. I want me to repeat that again. 1,775 PPP got. And the number of rejected ballot papers is 37. 37. I repeat, 37. Y'all see what's going on there, right? Y'all see what's going on there. If the PPP didn't rig, if they didn't rig the elections, something is definitely wrong. Havendra Sukraj, and here is where it's getting ticklish with Havendra. Havendra is saying, really? More violence in the streets? What exactly is this going to fix? Now, Havendra, how? No. Don't let me go there, Havendra. Don't let me go there about violence in the streets and so forth, because we could go way back in 2022, just 2022, and the burning of roads and the beating of policemen and the stoning of school buses and the beating of nurses and all. We could go right back there because people thought then that they were fighting for democracy. They were fighting for their rights. And don't let's come in a very subtle way now to make it appear that even if the APNU people or PNC people decide that they want to protest, that because of who they are, for the most part, that they are going to be violent and violence in the streets. And is that what we want? Nobody ever wants violence, Mr. Sokrat. Nobody wants violence. Nobody. But one set of individuals, when they protest, cannot be justified and say that it is acceptable. But when the other set of people justifiably go out there and protest over a rigged elections and sufficient evidence to substantiate that, you hear that, no. What is that going to solve? Violence? So suddenly it's violence, and people must sit down and they must shut their mouth and accept the stupidity, accept the rigging on the part of the coalition. Havendra Sukraj, your slip is showing. Don't let me go that route. You're not going to win the argument. Don't let us go that route, Havendra. All right. Christine Dion Jones wants me to put on my glasses. Why don't you pull up and bring some money so that I can get some glasses and stop? Get it. Pull up and get some money. Christine Dion Jones is always on my case. She's no better than Havendra. Oh, Father. Old age. Good morning, Christine. How are you? Now, and here is where we got to saddle up. Saddle up the donkey, please. Lemon, saddle up the donkey. Here's what Havendra is saying here now. Protesting isn't an issue. Preaching violence is. Now, wait a minute. You see where we're going down some murky water here. Who is preaching violence? You see, that is what I can't understand. Who is preaching violence? If there's any evidence of preaching violence here on this show, Havendra, show it. Otherwise, you know what you'll get. Because you're getting to that point because you can't maintain yourself. You can't compose yourself. The slip is showing. And let me just say, you said, I love how you're twisting my words, but you're not calling out your supporters on the violence and aggression they're calling for. Who is calling for violence and aggression? Nobody called anybody for violence. People are saying they should stand up for their rights. And why is it when people say they should stand up for their rights? Is it because mainly or largely because of their ethnicity, people love to associate that with violence? We have seen very violent protests in Guyana, and they weren't from PNC people. Very violent protests in Guyana. I recall Albion in 2001. Maybe you weren't born yet, Havendra, or maybe you're just a little Kunchi baby, right? Kunchi baby. You won't recall what the PPP protesters did in front of Albion police station. And I agreed with the protest. I supported that protest because the people were fighting for justice. And they weren't easy. They overturned a magistrate's car. They beat a magistrate. They almost beat up. They almost beat up. They almost beat up. Then controversial Minister of Home Affairs, Ronald Gatrach. They almost burned the police station down. Burn it down on the magistrate's court at the Albion police station. They almost burn them down. So don't let me go there, please. Don't let us go there. When people have had enough and they want justice and they talk about protest, don't try to say because they are persons, for the most part, are of African descent, that they are going to go out there and be violent. We have seen violence in the country over the past, let's say, 3-4 years. Just to keep it in modern times, 3-4 years. And we know who is more prone to violent acts in that country. And I'll tell you this, it's not the PNC supporters. So please, don't go that route. In a very nice and polite way, I'll say to you, have a great day. Thanks for your input. Thank you. Give you a Crawford face there. Eighteen minutes after 12 o'clock. Go get you guys some lunch. Hopefully we'll hear sometime from the opposition. Hopefully. Going to need some Katahar curry. And I shall be back. Hopefully soon. I want to leave you guys with a song this afternoon. And I'm dedicating this here to the opposition folks. My grandfather, my late Dutch paternal grandfather, used to play his guitar for me as a little boy. And I never understood what he was saying. He was singing in Dutch until he explained to me. And the song goes a little bit like this. Mama, light the lamp, let me see. Something bite me upon my belly. If you think it's lie, you better light the lamp, let me see. Aubrey, y'all light that lamp. Let us see what is going on. Light that lamp. Aubrey Norton, light that lamp. I'll see you guys later on. God bless you. Let's continue to pray for Guyana. And don't forget that the PPPC, they have rigged the 2023 local government elections. They are riggers.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.